had nothing. Even those that know me when I was going to mentor, I went to Ghana Must Go Back. I had nothing. I had nothing. I was living in the church. That was where I was sleeping. So Eradikai, my money see me was part of it, that he brought me all the way from that hole, that thing that nearly took my life, because I wanted to die on that spot. Even an animal will not be treated that way. When my auntie told a pastor that I was a witch, and they went to tie me up, I remember they tied me up.
They what?
They tied me up. They tied me with a rope outside the church for the pastor to go and cast the demon in me. And it really taught me a lesson to never leave my children no matter what. I once blamed my mom for what she did. She should have stood in and took care of me by herself, whether even if she was eating trash. That would have been better than giving your kids to know your own biological family, your husband's people.
If you're watching this video and you have not subscribed to this channel, then I don't know what you're waiting for. Please subscribe to this channel, because we have mind-blowing testimonies. We've shot some amazing testimonies that we can't wait to just release it. We are releasing once a week. Hopefully, eventually, we'll be able to release 2 or 3 times in a week. So please click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell to get notified each and every time I release a new video. And also, if you're looking for a team, a media company to shoot your commercials, to shoot your weddings, to shoot your parties, or to give you some headshots for your flyers and everything, reach out to my team. That is DH Multimedia. On Instagram, you can DM us or you can give us a call, and we would take a very good care of you. Let's get into the testimony. I have a celebrity on the podcast, and it's a great honor to meet you, Minister C. Welcome to the Dennis Bentel Show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
It's an honor to be here, and I'm happy.
So we all have gone through stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We all have testimonies, but most of us don't share our stories. Most of us don't. One or two reasons we don't tell people what we've gone through. But the Bible says we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Yeah. So when we testify, each and every time we share our story, we are defeating the enemy. So I'm not going to ask a lot of questions. I want us to go right into it. Let us know, C.
Okay.
C. What is your real name, and what your story or your testimony is all about.
Okay. Thank you so much. Once again, I'm honored to be here tonight. For your viewers and everybody who is watching you all the time, God bless them for doing it, for releasing their times in this American time system here. Like we all know, from work to the house, from house to church and stuff, but they get time to watch you. I just want to say God bless them, and then we really appreciate their time. And thank you so much to Danny. Thank you for having me here. My real name, most of the people don't know, but some of them too know. My real name is Cynthia Apia Kubi. That's my name. But because of the showbiz, because of mentor, I had to make it short so that due to the voting system, I could get a vote. So I just used, and that name wasn't me that planned that name. It was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was Dambasi and Pabwate.
Wow.
My co-musician that gave me that name. C, and then
it worked.
It did work, and I took it.
It sticks in everybody's mind.
When we went to Ashanti region to do the song for the mentor, and then they brought that one out, and I took that. And by God's grace, I am from the Ashanti region. I come from Asante Bakwai. Both my mom and dad are from there. Yeah, come from a family of 10, and I'm the 4th born. Yeah,
10.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We were 12 though, but now we're 10 now.
Wow.
So, and God has been faithful. My mom is a farmer, my dad is a farmer. And my dad was a teacher as well in those days. Yeah, and Life wasn't easy. Yeah, it has been tough. Yeah, but God has made it possible, and we are here today.
Awesome, awesome. So 12 kids, and you lost.
We lost 2, so we are now 10.
So sorry about that. So 10 from one mother and one father?
5 from one mother, one father.
Okay.
And the other 5 from a different father and a different mother, yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned that life growing up wasn't easy.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, yeah. For instance, I grew up with my aunties. My mom told me she came for me when I was 2 years old because they named me after her. So she came for me when I was 2 years, and then I used to live with her in Obuasi. And that's where we used to live, Bunkobri. I don't know those who know there. That's where we used to live in Obuasi. I lived with my aunties and my uncles for a long time before my dad traveled. He went to Germany at that time. So I saw him. I didn't live normally with my mom. I think I had a serious bond with my mom when I was 16 years. And I went to see my mom in the village, but sometimes she comes to visit, but family problems and stuff.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't there with my dad again, so they didn't want her to come to the house to even see us. So it was all the time issues and stuff. But when I grew up, 16 years, my mom had her last child, so I went there to visit her. So for me, I grew up with my aunties and people around, but I didn't grow up with my mom. Yeah.
So what were some of the challenges that you went through as a kid growing up, now with your parents? Because
you can imagine, not knowing your mom. No, you have a mom, but you wouldn't be able to see her, and you live with your aunties. Those that have lived with the aunties, they can testify. When someone is taking care of you and it's not your mom, you wouldn't get it as it is.
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy. Trust me. If I have to say it, it will even blow out the minds of people because someone might cry. You don't get it well with, especially father's side. Your sisters and brothers, when you live with them, it's tough. It was tough. For me, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, trust me.
Would you mind sharing?
Some of my aunties and my uncles were not fair. They were not fair with me. I wasn't treated fairly. It came to a time I even wanted to give up. I think that was 92. I have been through a lot. When I was 8 years, I had a ball in my head. I have a scar in my head. So a ball it almost took my life. So they had to operate me in Obuasi, one of the hospitals in Obuasi AGC. Those that didn't live in Obuasi, they will know what I'm saying. So, and by God's grace, the doctor that helped me was able to, but I had to be in the chair. You see, in Ghana, at first they used to have a table that we eat in. When you cook, you put food on it. That was the chair I was living in because my head became so big that I couldn't even lift up my head. It's a sickness, some people have it. They have people that have big head and stuff. I had a problem. I had a big ball that into my head, not just on the surface of the head. Yes, they had to go inside. So, and in fact, at that time I quite remember I was really smelling. Because it was draining. It was always coming. So it came to a time, my aunties didn't want me to get close to their children and stuff. So I was once kept in the house, a room, saying they were treating me. They normally don't come to me. When they will come to me, they open the door, they give me food or water, and they go. Until one day, a doctor decided to do it for me. And after that, I was healed. And God been so good. I thank God because I never thought I could even live to see what I'm seeing today. Sometimes I watch people and they say they think is the end for them. I tell them, you don't know someone's story because I didn't die with that. And that thing that happens kills people. But it didn't kill me. God sustained my life, and not me. He did, because he had a reason to keep me alive. He knew one day, the Bible even says that he knew us when we were in the womb of our parents. So he was just preparing me for that. He needed all that to happen so that I can have a story. And all that I've been through was part of one of my songs. Yeah, no, but for control, because that song is my life. Because after the ball, when we were in class 4, my legs were off. My friends knew this in El Shaddai Middle School in Agri Junction, Quara. So we just did exams and everybody was happy. I was happy with my friends that I passed, that I'm going to class 5. Yeah. And I sat down, I just got up and I couldn't feel my legs, and that was it. So one of my friends thought I was just joking. Ibrahim, he said, oh, Piakubi, because me, I was that jovial type. I was Rafianga in school. In fact, I was in C. I was Cynthia, and then Cynthia Roughnock. When you mention Cynthia Roughnock, everybody will know, yeah, because I was so hard and tough. So they thought I was joking, but I wasn't. I couldn't feel my leg. And when he brought it out, I saw that my bones were all gone. So
the bones were gone.
Yeah, my bones were broken. In fact, they had to use fish boxes to put under me and use a scarf before they could straighten my legs before they took me to G.
Did you fall down or?
I didn't fall down. I don't know what happened. I sat, like Muslims do, and they pray. I did that. It's not only me. It was me and all my classmates. The whole class, we were on the floor doing that, and everybody got up, and I couldn't. And I said, I can't feel my legs. I don't know. They said, oh, Cynthia, you are lying. You always prank people. Just come out. And so one of them stood up, and then he tried to push my legs out, and I fell, and then they saw the blood and everything. So it was tough, because at that time, my dad too was deported. So you can imagine coming home. He came home a few months before this happened to me. So I had to be admitted at the hospital. I stayed in the house. I lay down on my just flat like this for 2.5 years, almost 3 years.
What?
I couldn't walk. I was once using crutches at home. Was one just go on the floor and then be on the floor until I'm okay to stand up with the crutches. Yeah, I was in Kumasi.
So how long did you have the boil in your head?
The boil, it took a long time. It was about, let's say, for 3 to 4 months. Yeah.
And so that was the first, and the second was?
That was my leg.
Your leg. So what was the duration difference? Was it a year?
That one was when I was, the ball was around 6 to 8 years. I was young at that time. Yeah, and this one too, I think we were going to P6 or P5 at that time. So you can imagine. It was some years after I had that. My life wasn't straight. It wasn't smooth. It was from one pain to the other. It was from one sorrow to the other. It was from one. I don't even know how to say it, because I once told my dad, I asked my dad, why am I the only person who was going through that? One, I didn't grow up with my mom. How can my mom give me to his sister for 2 years? I was too small to go and live with somebody. And the treatment I got from them could even make me go through all that I went through, because they were my aunties, but some of them, they really dealt with me, being a child. And what I heard was they didn't like my mom. My dad married my mom, so it was like every anger became on her children, a whole lot. But I had to endure just to be able to live and then survive it. So for me, one problem to the other. It wasn't easy for me. It wasn't easy. I have been through a whole lot in this life that I think when I had the problem with my legs, I told my dad. They told me they had to uproot my leg. They have to take it off. And I asked myself, even me being a full person, it wasn't easy. So if I am supposed to come and be in a wheelchair without legs, what will happen to me? Then it's better I go. So my dad told me when they came there, I told them I want them to take my life. And I wanted that. I even once tried to take my life. Yeah, because of some of the more treatment I was going through. Yeah, I remember a guy saved me. A guy, Takufi. I remember his name so well.
So do you want to go into some of the details?
Yeah, they were not fair because I knew my dad was in Europe. He was living in Wiesbaden in Germany. And I knew my dad because sometimes, you see, at that time, we didn't have more telephones there. So anything they want to bring, they just do it on a cassette.
Yeah.
And then they'll play it at home for everybody to hear what the person is saying. So when they bring it up, anytime they bring something from Europe, I'm someone who is very inquisitive. Because of the way they were treating me, I just also wanted to know what was going on. Because in the other way, I had a story from my dad before he traveled, so I was trying to do everything to fight for my mom. So I was just looking out for my mom to know what they are planning or what they are doing. Because my dad used to bring things that they have to give to my mom, they don't give it to her. Even the things to be given to us, they rather give it to their children. Maybe just once a while. Then when someone tells my dad something that they get to know that he finds out before they realize. Sometimes the way they beat me per se, I was very, very, very inquisitive because before my dad left, he spoke to me, so I was very close to my dad. So I wanted to know what was going on, what made them to hate my mom, what did my mom do? No, you can't force someone to do whatever the person doesn't want to do. You want my dad to do this. She's the woman she wants, but my dad's sisters and brothers didn't like my mom, so they turned every anger they have supposed to give to my mom to us that we're living with them. So the way they will beat you, to take belt to beat you. Sometimes the guava, I was saying, that guava tree, it has so many holes and punches on it. They'll use it. So me, right now, at my back here, I have a problem. You can feel my skin at my back. You can feel it. It's not like the skin you see. Sometimes it's rough and it pains. It hurts so bad. Oh yeah. So me, I don't play with my back. If you play, you hit me there, you hit at that side. Because you see, when they are caning you, it goes on one side.
Yeah.
The map goes on one side, and that side became a problem. So it has been with me for a very long time. And I remember how they would treat you. You do something wrong, my auntie will put you under the water. We had a big poly tank. You raise your hand, and your eyes and everything will be under the water. It will be going on you through your nose, and she's whipping you. When you put your hands down, all the canes you got is past. You have to start all over again. All because of the anger of my mom. Yeah, because they didn't like my mom. They know?
This is like,
they know what I'm saying?
What a burden. It's one of the worst punishments for not regular people, like people in military, when they are interrogating terrorists and all those people.
But those who have experienced what I'm saying, when your mom goes into a family, they don't like them. They don't like her. They will tell you that what I'm saying, someone might have been through the same. When your mom is not accepted in a marriage, the anger turns into their children. And I was that time. Because I was the only person who was always trying to know what is going on. Me and my sisters, I was living there before my sisters also came. I was living there alone because she picked me when I was young. So, and later my senior sister and my brother also came. And it was a whole lot. Even my grandfather, before he died, he told us that my father's side, my mom, my father's sisters and brothers don't like my mother, so we should be careful and accept Christ. My grandfather never went to church. He wasn't a Christian. He was one of the most dangerous and then I would say wicked person because he said it himself. Like my grandfather was someone, you go to church, they will give you envelope to go and give it to your grandparent to bring. Then he would just put pepper in the fire and roast it and put it in the envelope. He said, go and give it to your pastor. God says you should bring everything that we sow. He doesn't want to give out his money. But I was so surprised that on the dying day that he was dying, he asked us that there is the God they say he is there. I want you guys to accept that God.
Wow.
And live for him. That was the day I knew and understood the kind of family I was. Because my grandfather asked to go to church. And on our way going, he gave up. He wanted to be in the church before he died. But we couldn't take him there. And then, so with him dying, I got to understand. And what he said made me know that we have to change. And then my senior brother decided, he went first. He went to some prayer group, and then they trained him, and then he also brought us in. And then we all became Christians from that time. But living with my aunties and my uncles were hell. Yeah, I mean, the kind of treatment they gave me, I wasn't surprised all that I went through. And even when my legs were not working, it was just left with me and my dad. He was the one doing everything for me because my mom wasn't there. He took care of me because I was there for almost 2.5 years. My dad would shower me, he would pick me up. Even when I feces on myself, he cleans me up because I couldn't go and use it. So I was lying down, I'd do it on the bed, and then he would change it. Lying down, he would change it. So one day, someone told him that there is somebody who can heal me, who can help me. An old lady in Barakesi, Fufum, that's where some of the footballers were used to go. So the person took me there with my dad, and then that old lady took a chicken, and then he said she has to break the chicken's leg and then break mine as well again. Because at that time, they had brought me from the hospital. I was at G, Confanoche Teaching Hospital. They brought me. So he has to break everything all over and start with the herbal one, the medicine. And then from there, I started.
Was this person a spiritualist or?
She was, I don't know if a fetish or someone, almost you doing sini's, Hannah, you're coming in.
It's more like, so they use the herbs.
The herbs too. Another thing, yeah, because it's not only the herbs. She used the herbs and then she'll be spitting and be talking. Then she'll use it on your legs. And within a period of 5 months, I was able to put my bottles on the floor and be going with my bots for a while. And before, I started using the crutches. And then I started with some chairs working. And then later, so I was asked not to eat so many food. There was things I couldn't do. The food I shouldn't eat because she feels like, I don't know how you say it in English. How would you put it?
Yeah, the words. So it's not allergy, but it's like
something because of the things she used to heal me. I shouldn't eat them because anytime I eat them, it could bring something. Maybe a forbidden fruit. It will bring back. Maybe I'll be a cripple again or something. But those that knows their God, the moment I came to Christ, I started eating those food, and by God's grace, now I have my legs for years now. I wear heels, I dance with it, I do everything. The legs that the doctor said they had to take it off, God made it possible. So eradicate me, money see me was part of it, that he brought me all the way from that hole, that thing that nearly took my life, because I wanted to die on that spot. Because looking at me when I was full, it wasn't easy for me. And now I'm half, so you can imagine. If you were half and I couldn't walk again, and I was still in the wheelchair till now, what would be my fate? So I told my dad, hey, Mr. Piekubi, let me go. You have other children. Just let me be the person to be the first child to live as how I am, and then be able to take care of my other children, my other sisters and brothers. So, but what I was thinking wasn't what God wanted it to happen. And God came in. After being healed, I went to school, P6, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, getting to 6 months to the exams. I couldn't hear. We went to the hospital. They said we have to wash our ears. He came in Ghana. I went there. I don't know what happened. Me, all I knew was the devil has his hands and eyes on me. You know, in Africa, or when a child is blessed with a gift, you have so many things to see before you get to your destination. And so I always want to let people know, don't think that what you are going through, it has no meaning. God has a purpose for you to see that, so that one day you can get a time to tell somebody, hey, I was there, I've been there, but he used his powers to heal me and bring me this far. Because it was almost 6 months to our exam. Those that they know what I'm saying, they know. We went to wash our ears. I was going to school at Patasi MGSS at Patasi, Kumasi. And then, I don't know, the nurse that washed my ears, everybody was okay, but she left the cotton in my ears. And I didn't know, and it went through. So they told me that I was going to my ear, whatever. They had to go and operate me before. I couldn't go to school. When you shout, like you are, Masa, I can't even stand 1 second. It's like the whole world is on me. So at that time, I thought I wasn't going to hear again. I thought I would be a deaf person, because what is all this? And then it wasn't just a normal thing. It was something plotted that the devil wanted to use just so that what God has for me will not come. What God wants me to do will not come. But he is a faithful God. I went to the park with my brother, my senior brother, Prophet Isaac Apiakubi, and Pastor Kobe, Eugene Afre. He's in Kumasi. He's a pastor. And then they prayed for me. And then my brother Mami Akwanche, like, he gave me something like oil and other things. And then he was praying with me at that time. So the time they gave me to do the operation, even then, it didn't happen. I woke up and I saw a thing on my bed.
The cotton came out.
It came out. Yeah, on the bed.
They couldn't, take it out. The doctors couldn't take it out.
They said they had to operate on me.
After the prayers, it just came out. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I was sleeping, and then God told him, he said, at this time, the time was, I think, 12 a.m., he will perform his miracle, and he did. Trust me. God came through.
God told you that
That's my brother. He's a prophet. So he told me that this is what God is saying. That I shouldn't go and do that surgery, because if I do it, I'll not come back. But God said he will heal me, so I should have faith. I gathered my faith, because that time, my dear, all hope was lost. I was just taking a 50-50 chance to do it. But later I realized, and I said, I was once a cripple. I lost it. He healed me. So this is just a tip of an iceberg. I know he'll do it. Let me have faith. I still have gathered my faith again. We prayed, we fasted for days. So the Friday that we had all night, we were praying at the park. He said, Cynthia, go home. And I came back home. And I slept. And then after the all night, he came back home. I was lying down on the bed. He was praying for me. And then I saw something coming up. And when it came, because it has been there for a long time, it was even rotten. Yeah. And all the water and everything that was coming, everything was coming. It was popping up like something. And then by God's grace, I was able. They cleaned me up. They gave me some antibiotic. I went to the hospital again. They were even surprised that they didn't do it. But I told them, I was young, but through my brother, I knew Christ, and Pastor Kobe. I got to know Christ because my grandfather said it. That's what was always ringing in my ears. Why would he say that? because he knows that that's the only way to survive in life. So I decided also to keep it. And then God made himself strong again. I was able to go back to school and write my exams. Because of all these things, I was very good in school, but other things I was going through, I couldn't. So my exams, I even wept. When I got 18, I cried. I said, this is not my portion. But at least I was able to pass grade 18. I was able to go to secondary school. And even when I passed...
That was junior high.
Oh, yeah.
You had grade 18.
Yeah.
With everything that was going on?
Mm-hmm. I had 18.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can imagine if I hadn't gotten the strength to do... I was a good kid. I was very clever because I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to be a journalist or a newscaster when I was young. Emma Morrison was my role model. I look up to her all the time. So even when I went to mentor, I went to see her, and she wanted to further my education for me. It wasn't all the music I wanted to do, but when I was growing up, I saw that I had something. So after that, I couldn't go to school that year because there was no money again, so I had to stay home for 1 whole year. So I completed school 2003. I couldn't go to school, so 2004 I went to school. And then that time too, I went to school. The person who was helping me and my mom, they didn't have money again, so I had to stop schooling. So I stopped schooling at Form 2 second time at Faith Assemblies of God Secondary Tafo. I had to stop schooling, and then I decided to. And that time too, we were living in our auntie's house. She pushed our house from the house, so my dad took us to his friend's place. We were living with my dad and my other siblings with a friend in one room. So I decided to find out myself, just went somewhere. So I went to my pastor. I was living not at a mission house. I was living in the church. That was where I was sleeping. I was sleeping in the church.
You were sleeping in the church?
Yes, because I had nowhere to go. I was once living with a friend, Dinah, my childhood friend that I started singing with, and she was also living with her auntie, so there was a couple of issues. I had to move and go and live in the church. So I was living in one of my pastors, Prophet Kwame Zah, in Agri Junction. I was living in that church. That's where I was sleeping. So when we closed our church, my things were at the back of the pulpit. So I wasn't the only person. We were like 4 people living there. And I lived there for a long time before going to mentor. Yeah, I was living there for a very long time. I think for more than 2 years, almost 3 years. I got sick one day, and one of the instrumentalists, he came in for rehearsals, and then he said he saw me lying down. They said I had jaundice because I've eaten gari but there was no money. When we closed from church, my pastor was the one giving money. So, and it wasn't that enough but he was doing his best. He did everything even for clothing. His wife, who is dead, may her soul rest in peace, she was the one giving me clothes to wear. I had nothing. I had nothing. I had nothing. Even those that know me when I was going to mentor, I went to Ghana, must go back. I had nothing. I had nothing. Trust me. Those that they know me, even in school, my friends were the ones helping me. Even in JSS, they give me food. Because when I'm coming to school, my auntie will cook in the morning, will give you the food to eat, and that will be done. I'll come back close in the evening, like 6:30, before you can get food to eat. And when I close from school, I'll come back and go and sell. I sell ice water. I sell pork feet per country. I sell that one. I sell ice cream. That time we call it, I believe was, if I don't go and sell, that day no food. She will not allow her children to do that. But I was doing that. Anytime I close from school, I have to go and sell. As a kid, I go to the street, go and sell and come back. And at the same time, go and come back and come and go to the market, come and cook. And then when you cook and you do something wrong, those were me. the reason why I decided not to let any of my children stay in Africa was this. I said it to myself, I will never, even if it takes the last thing to do, I'll make sure all my kids will be placed somewhere that when I'm not there one day, they wouldn't feel what I felt. My dear, poverty is a disease. Whoever will tell you that is good, because God will let you, fine, it's good. But if God doesn't come in, poverty can kill you. Because the kind of hunger, those that they know me, they know what I'm saying. I sometimes have to go and wash, go to houses to throw trash away, go and wash some bowls to be able to get food to eat. But yes, to beg people. People were even making mockery of me. They would laugh at you. I once remember one man said I was very ugly. That man, that day I wept. He looked at me, asked me, "You, so did your mom and dad sleep on the bed before giving birth to you?" They slept on the veranda. Now, that thing really hurt me because I was looking bad. Those that they know me in Kumasi, they will tell you what I'm saying. My makeup, I'm here looking like this for people to see. I go somewhere and people mention my name. See, I was able to meet that, if not being here, the kind of people I've met since I became a star. God brought me up to become a gospel musician. The kind of people I've met, I never knew. Because I was once a rejected stone. I was once the ugliest girl. Yeah. Even my own cousins, they would tell me, "Oh, you're fainting, I'm a man." And it's true. No man. For the man to tell me that, and every guy, then I'm from a Yabare. I remember. But it was because I wasn't fed well. I never knew I could even become like this. Those that don't know me, they will tell you, my ecstasy. I have a book, I have written the blue book. One day I pray to God to help me. I just want to share it for people to know that it doesn't matter how you look. He didn't look at my looks. He gave me a song to sing. Because if he has looked at the looks that people were saying, he will give the gift to those who were pretty. But he gave it to this ugliest person. They said. And you know one thing? That man that said I was ugly, after mentor, wanted me to marry his son. Because that time, now I look like a human being. So, my dear, life is a journey. And if you have no Christ in that journey, then forget it. It was God. It has been God. I remember when we came to the mentor, I wasn't even part of the mentor. I went to all the auditions. I went to Kovarudia, I went to Ashanti region, and then I went to Takrade. And they took me as standby. Becca was the one that quitted, and I replaced her.
Okay, let's backtrack, because most of my audience are not from Ghana.
Okay.
So let's backtrack to, when did you realize that you have a gift?
That was when I was 8 years. My daddy used to, my auntie, that was my auntie, and then my daddy's brother, they go to church at Sepetim.Pom.T in Kumasi. So they take me there and I joined the choir. And then after they stopped, and then I went to Resurrection Power and Living Bread Ministries at Santase. That was where I started singing. I went to join the group, Living Voices. So I was doing that from 8 years, and then before I went to my pastor that I was telling you, I slept in his church. So I started from Sepetim Pom, and I went to Santase Resurrection Power, and I came back to Sofoza. So singing started from 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, me, I love music, and the people that they were my mentor were Daughters of Glory Jesus. So from childhood, any of their songs to date, if you give me the mic, by God's grace, I can make that one. But they were my role models at that time. And especially Cynthia was a loving mother. Cynthia of Daughters, she always comes to the kids and then call us whenever she comes to church. She comes to the Sunday school and then call us and encourage us. You know that. So I decided to pick it up and then work on it.
Okay. So those who don't know about Mentor, is it still going on?
Yeah, it's still going on in Ghana.
Back in the days, it was more like the American Idol.
I know, yeah.
So at what age did you go to Mentor? When did you decide to audition, and what was everything that happened during the audition process?
I went to Mentor, I think that was 21 years. 21. Yeah, that was 2006. And I went to Mentor. They finished the Mentor 1 2006. And then after they finished, 2 months later, they bring out. So it was almost getting to 2007. So we were Mentor 2. And then they started with us.
So how did you, what gave you the idea to audition for the...
Okay, one of my friends that went we were in the same singing group together, Prince of Mentor 1.
Oh.
We were in the same group, Living Voices. So he went and then he came back and said, Nanaya, you can do it, go and do it. So I decided to try. And I went and they didn't pick me.
They didn't pick you?
In Kumasi, it was tough. So they didn't pick me. And I went to Takrade and I was standby there. And I came back to Koforidua. When I was living with Ohima Mercy, I was once living with her. Yeah, she took me in as one of her backers, and then I was living with her in the house. She picked me up from Family Chapel, Susanso. Wow. She came there to do a program. So I once lived with her for a while. Yeah.
Wow. You've lived...
Yeah, I've lived everywhere. Because I've been a housemaid for a long time. I was a housemaid in Kumasi, Ejapita, Abripo Junction. That's where I was a housemaid. Ejapita is a drugstore owner. People that live there, they know because if I don't do it, I've done so many things to survive in this life. Selling, what else? Cleaning. My dear, I have been through a lot. Trust me. I have been through a lot. I never believed one day I'll have a story to tell. I never even thought. The day I sat in the plane, that was 2008, I wept until we got to where we were going, because I asked myself, so ain't it me by me? Now I am insane. I was singing that song in the plane, because once the Rejector Stone, I was now nominated to go for an award in Europe. And that was amazing.
Wow. So you went to Takrady, you were standby. Where else did you go?
I went to Kumasi, Takrady, and
Koforidua.
Yeah.
So Koforidua, you were also the standby?
I didn't win. So I came back to Kumasi like that. I came back home.
So you got rejected and you went back home from...
I went back to Kumasi just to stay there and see what God has for me. So I was on the park praying. I heard they mentioned my name. That time they had a show they were doing in TV3, close-up hits video with Isopele. So they mentioned my name that someone quitted. And then they chose me. And you know, one funny thing, with a mentor, they will take the best 12 and they pick standby 12. So we had other standby they could have picked from. So one of the judges told me they were just voting and God came in. And all the Well, the judges voted in my favor. So that means God has the plan for me. So me, when I came in, I didn't even, they had a dress for the mentor contestants and everybody, but I couldn't get it. So I had to come in with Auntie, I remember her, Auntie Mary. She took me home, and Auntie Adjoa, they did my hair. But when I came to mentor, my dear, oh yeah, yeah, oh, poverty is a disease. I'm telling you, I will keep saying this. If you have a chance to help somebody, don't hesitate to do it. Because when I came to the mentor house and I saw the kind of bags people brought, and I saw myself, I came with 2 trousers, 1 top, and with Ghana must go. And even I had a handbag, and it was ripped, everything, it was just shrinking like this. So I came in, one of the mentor contestants saw me and said, what is this lady doing here? And they said, oh, she's the one that is replacing Becca. And they all look at me like, what is she wearing? You could see myself, my hair. I was even telling myself I don't belong here. Because I had nothing to write home off. So I came there, and then the lady took me to the salon, and then she bought me a top and a trouser, and I put it on. And then so even when we went to the mental house, it was some of the contestants' clothes they took for me. Sandy, she was the one who her clothes could fit me. So before the sponsors came in, she was the one giving me clothes to wear.
So you were even wearing someone's clothes?
She was the one that was giving me clothes to wear. I had nothing. I will not hide it. I saw myself, and I was even feeling shy to go close to them because of how I was looking. And you see them, they were pulling their bags, and you can imagine Ghana must go. And looking at them, I asked, God, you brought me here. I don't know why you brought me, but may your will be done. Why you brought me here, just do it and let me go. Because even there, I said, I'll go home early. Because if they are voting, the money they will use to vote, I'll not care. But what I will do is, I'll do my best and perform. Because I know that's what I can do best, and that can help me. And I did it, and that one sustained me for 1 month, 2 weeks. It wasn't votes. With vote, everybody knew I had no votes. But I did my best. I asked him to give me the strength to perform every song they gave me on that platform. I decided to use that platform to help myself. That even before I go back to Kumasi, because when I was going back to Kumasi, I was asking myself, where am I going to sleep again? Am I going back to the church? Or where was I going? Because after mentor, I had no hope. That after mentor, I asked how.
Kevin, get some tissue from the bathroom. Thank you.
How would I do it? So, not knowing that a producer was in there preparing for me. So after mentor that, I went home. 3 weeks, I went to live with my sister. At that time, my sister had given birth, so I went to live with her. She had twins. And I was there. One day, I went to the park to pray, and I was told that they called me. So when I came in, I did my best for me to be able to get at least favor from people, because it was all about that you can get. So after I came back, the producer brought me back to Accra, and then he rented a place for me with Ampo and Isaac. So I was living with them. We were in the same house, but each and everyone has their rooms, and that was when life was started for me.
So let's go back a little bit to before you got out. even though I was watching at the time, I can't really remember everything that happened. So, did you win or were you second and third?
I didn't win. I wasn't second. Neither was I first. I got out at the seat week. I got out at the seat week of mentor. Yeah, I was in there for 1 month, 2 weeks.
You were actually evicted?
I was evicted, yeah.
So, surprisingly, the only person I remember their name is you from the show.
I know from the mentor too, because I think at that time I was the only person that came out with a song afterwards.
Yeah. And we still sing the song till now. You were evicted, and we remember your name. We still sing your songs. I honestly don't remember who won.
The person that won was Prince. He was also called Prince.
Okay.
In Mentor 2. That was another Prince.
I don't think anybody remembers it. Because as we were talking, I honestly thought you won the show.
No, I didn't win. I was evicted on the seat week. 1 month, 2 weeks. The song that took me home was "What Love Got to Do with It." That was the song. That was Tina Turner was everything.
Were you choosing your own songs or what they were choosing?
No, they were choosing the songs for us. They look at your strength and they give it to you. Mm. Yeah, and they just know who you are and then they give it to you. And I was just doing my best for Ghanaians to help me vote, because if it was supposed to come from my family, hell no. I would have been gone by then. Even the first week of Grand, I'll be out. So I went in and I did my best. Trust me, that by the day I wanted to give it all out was the gospel day, the gospel night, and it was a week after I was evicted. Because that week, I was so much ready. I was so much ready to give it out. I wanted to sing daughter's song and the song that kept me in for 2 weeks was Konkom Namai by Ramabidu. It keeps me in. So my mentor really helped me. TV3, God bless them. Because they people like us, you can never forget them. And after that, the wonderful producer, Bandex, also came for me. Added me to Ampo and Isaac, and that is when we started bringing the songs out. And my brother Ampo, he was the one writing all the songs. God bless him so much. He did everything for us. He write the songs and he give it to us to go sing it at the studio. Even at the studio, he was always there guiding us, and then we were able to come out with an album. I didn't even know I could stand in the studio and sing. I didn't know what is meant by going to the studio.
That was your first experience going to the studio?
Oh, yeah. No. It wasn't my first experience of singing my own song.
Okay.
But I went to the studio once with Mark Abraham. He had a son. They had a studio at Rolex in Kumasi. I used to go there and back. When he was producing this Atani Ata, Era de Won China Mapa. You remember that song? Yeah. At that time, he had a son who was recording. He's an engineer at that time. Mark, I was always with him. So we go to the studio. He does music. I once did a French song with him. But I didn't know what it was, so I didn't know the importance of that. I was just going there with him because I love to do music. So, but coming to do it for myself, that is when I got to know that, hey, so this is it. This is something I must keep it doing.
Wow. So whilst recording those songs, did you think it was going to be a hit?
Well, I didn't think it was going to be a hit, but I believe God will use that song for something, especially Erade Kaime, because that song was all about my life. I just wanted to sing that song for someone to know that he can also remember you, because that song was all about my life. Yeah. Whenever I go through trials, trauma, pains, and everything, there was nobody there. Not knowing he was there, he was up there watching me. So I believe that God has a testimony through those songs. And then it came out that he remembered me, and then he gave me the dede, and that is the numasem. Whatever he said about my life has been accomplished, and that's another song.
Is that a different album? I can't even remember.
It's the same album. So with that album, I had Eradifie. Don't bury man is me. People don't know it's my song. Come on, me, Jimmy Free, my time for some. And yeah, 1 hour time minimum tea. Me and Shirapa, 1 hour do me know. I did that one with Isaac, and then Asam to me, Eradicame, and then the and then Hilale, and that one was a full album. Before we came out with a different one, the Asafa Yehowa, and then we did me, ako, me karate, and that one, all those songs were there. It was part of, yeah.
Wow. So did life get easier after?
Oh, my dear, the easy and there is too easiest. It's too, because you could even see. You see, life became like, I don't even know what words I could use. And I said to myself, hey, I never knew life was easy at that time. Yeah, but I also thank God, and I decided to help others because I was once there.
Wow.
Yeah, I decided to help. Even as of now, when I see people struggling, crying, I feel their pains. My dear, poverty is a disease. Oh. Yeah, maybe you haven't seen, you don't know what poverty is. Maybe those that you were born with a silver spoon, or you guys, you don't know. Sometimes my auntie will let you carry a pan. How do you even say it? How do you even say pan here?
They don't have it, so there's
a big bowl, and then you walk miles to go fetch water, like walking from the north to the east side here. Yeah, you have to go and fetch the water, and her children are sleeping. Yeah, even driving from east to the north side here is like 30-something minutes. So imagine you will walk from this place to that place, go fetch the water and bring it back in Kumasi when there's no water. So you calculate. She doesn't care. You are not her child, so they don't care. Life, living with my aunties were not good. It wasn't a good experience. The kind of schools, of course I do. You go to the bad schools, the schools that they would, now you see her children, kind of things she put on, like poverty, it's a disease. But trust me, I wish every mother or father would be able to take care of their kids until they are old. Because when you don't have, your mom and your dad don't have money to take care of you, it's something else. I sometimes hold back things so that I don't remember them, that I don't pay anybody with what I have been through. Because it became to a time that I hated people for what my auntie did to me. I decided that one day, like, so can I do this? I'll do this to somebody to see how he feels. Until when I met God, and I'll change. Oh, because I asked myself, no, even an animal will not be treated that way. That they made me felt like you are not more than an animal. You and an animal are the same. That's what I was saying. For people to even call you ugly, for someone to use words on you, if it's here, the person will go to jail for that. Because to tell me that, and because of those things, I wanted to kill myself.
Wow.
That was what I was saying. I decided to die because everybody said I was ugly. Very ugly. But today, the ugliest girl It's right here. God used that ugly for a purpose. I was the donkey God sat on.
Yeah.
That's what all the time I say. That donkey was somewhere. One thing I remember that always told me about that donkey was when my auntie told a pastor that I was a witch, and they went to tie me up. I remember they tied me up.
They what?
They tied me up. They tied me with a rope outside a church for the pastor to go and cast the demon in me. Come on, say. It was raining, and I was in there. My auntie said I'm a witch. But before go to they should go and cast the demon out. So the prophet came, and then he saw me with those who were witches there. Then he asked, who brought this little girl? Hey. Life. Well, I thank God. Me, Cynthia, I always tell people, don't let what you are seeing today bother you. You overcome it one day.
Yes.
I was young, but my dear, I felt there was no need in continuing life. Because I couldn't go to my mom. I don't know where she was. I didn't even know who my mom was, because when she comes to the house, they don't let me see her. My mom, I hear somebody will come. One of my uncles will say, oh, Mami Abaha. By the time I realized, she will leave, because they will fight her. She will not come and see even me, and she will go until I was 16 years to go to my mom.
Wow.
So, and now I remember all these things and I laugh. Do you know why I laugh?
Why?
It didn't kill me. But it made me stronger. And it really taught me a lesson to never leave my children no matter what. I once blamed my mom for what she did. She should have stood in and took care of me by herself, whether even if she was eating trash. That would have been better than giving your kids to know your own biological family, your husband's people. Yeah. So that made me to take a decision in my life that one day when he blesses me, I'll make sure I help my children. That's why I have all my kids here.
You talked about nearly committing suicide. What happened?
Because the pain was too much.
So you planned on, you had DDT? Or
I wanted to drink it and go and die.
You guys had DDT at home?
When I went to buy it at the drugstore, at that time they were selling it.
And the person sold it to you?
But they don't know. They at that time they were using it for cocoa spraying and thought so. Maybe they thought I was going to use it, but I was going to drink it. And then he saw me because he was my friend, so I was once telling him. So I think that when I went there, when I was going there, he saw me. He followed me, and then after I took it, he went to tell out of my uncles who came to visit. So I think they said they gave me palm oil.
So you actually drank?
I took some. Yeah, I took some. Although I was tired. Though, Nanaya, I was tired. I was tired because the kind of things my auntie were doing to me, at that time it was too much. I was tired. Sorry. I was tired. Those that they know where we used to live, they know what I'm saying.
So after you became famous, did they contact you or?
Oh, they did. I traveled to Germany 2008 when I said I had to go for awards. And then what she did really pained me. I went there with Isaac and Ampon, and then the person who was coming to pick us up was late. So my dad told me that your auntie is there. I thought maybe what she did to me in Ghana or at that time.
She was in Germany. She moved to Germany.
Yeah, so maybe now we are all grown. So I called her and I told her, Auntie, I'm in Germany and the person picking me up is late. And it was so cold in Bayern Munich that time. Bayern Munich was very cold. I asked her to pick us up home. She said no.
What?
The person was coming 4 hours away and she was just 30 minutes away. She said no. She told me that she can't come and pick us up. I should wait for the person who brought me here. But I came to do everything. I was going back to Ghana, and I had a call from her. Anaya, I bought some phones and clothes. Can you go and give it to your siblings in Ghana?
Really?
She want me to take it to her children in Ghana. Oh, I praise the name of God. I also told her, I can't come there and take the things to them. Trust me, I didn't.
Man.
I didn't. You see, my dear, and I know right now, she might have learned her lessons.
Do you think you've forgiven her?
I haven't met her one-on-one for so many years. I haven't met her for so many years now. Maybe when I meet her and we talk things over. Because I don't even know where she is right now. It's been years. So maybe when I see her one day and we talk, maybe I can tell her, but I've forgiven her in my heart. Yeah. Who am I?
Yeah.
To hold it against her. She helped me. She did wrong, but she helped me.
They couldn't break you. They couldn't break you. This has been...
So the things that don't break you.
Make you stronger.
Yeah.
And you stronger.
So me now, I can stand at anything. Any pain, any human beings will strike on me. God gives me the strength to stand it.
Through this, all of this, what has been the one Bible verse that has carried you through?
He said he knows me when I was in the womb of my mother. That means everything that I saw was part of the things in the womb. It was part of the things to prepare me for the journey he has for me. For the journey of speaking into someone's life through music. And that has kept me on going every day.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm speechless. When you told me you had a story, I was like, I didn't think it was going to be this.
I've tried for so many years now. I don't cry about these issues again. But
Wow.
those that know me from the beginning, I couldn't have even told you anything. I'll cry till I finish. But now, at that time, I was young.
Did you cry before coming?
I was just saying that I hope you wouldn't bring things that will make me cry, or because I don't want to spoil your show. I don't
I myself was crying when you were talking.
Some people cry a lot when they see that the people that they like, they look up to, have been through. But trust me, whoever is successful today or has been somewhere went through something before getting there. And then I know the Bible also tells us that he wouldn't bring something that will not help you. Like he will come in. He knows every strength of each and every one of us.
Yes.
He knows. God knows. He knew I could stand it. Because what I went through, if someone would be in that position at that time, that person wouldn't be alive today. But I'm still alive. Breath, life, and colored means God knew I could hold or handle it. Yeah. And now, by the grace of God, I'm being celebrated. Everybody is saying, see, I see your song. But they don't know, before that song, there was a testimony.
Yeah.
There was something before that song, before coming here. And now I was saying to myself, hey, we have also come to the people of America. The American people.
Did you ever dream you were going to travel outside the country?
No. I didn't even dream of being who I am today. It was when I knew Christ, and then my brother said, Baya, I saw your CDs. They were everywhere. And said, wow.
So he prophesied about you?
Yeah. He and then my pastor, Kobe, they prophesied about me on the park, C school. That's where we were praying. And then they spoke about me. So anytime we go to the park to pray, I sing before they preach. So,
wow.
I knew the day would come. I didn't know when until I went to the mentor. And that is when I began to see what they said.
I think at times God shows us where, like, our destination or where he wants to take us. But if he tells you, but he doesn't tell you the process, how long it's going to take, what you want to go through.
Yeah.
If he tells you what you're
like I would tell him to stop.
Yeah, you'd be like, God.
Because the pain was too much.
Yeah. If the Israelite had known they would be wandering in the desert for like 40 years, they would probably say, no, God, we just...
But they thought it would be just one day.
Yeah.
They are off from there.
And I think out of the sorrow, out of the pain, out of the anguish came through true worship. And then whenever you pick the mic to sing, you can tell there's a difference. Even that one song, up till now, when you sing it, wherever you go, there's a difference because it was birthed out of pain.
That song, Nasi did it. And anytime I go to the studio to sing that song, I cry. I don't finish. It took me like almost 2 weeks before I did that song. Almost 2 weeks. Because anytime we go there to go and sing, I remember the things. And when I start to open my mouth to sing it, the tears will come. Because they told me to remember the things I've seen to make that song, to speak to somebody. So anytime I go there to start singing, it reminds me. I have to go back home and come back later and sing it. So I rather carry me. But you see me here, because I'm here. Poverty is not good. Trust me, poverty. I know why I'm pointing that side. I'm here. Snibibia. To be poor, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's not good to be poor. It's not good.
I want you to know that God allowed these things to happen for a reason. Go through the mess to get a message. Go through the test to get a testimony. And I know there's someone who is going to watch this someone who is going through a very bad time, and they're gonna watch this, whether be it's on TikTok, be it's on YouTube, Instagram, wherever it is. Someone somewhere right now is planning on killing themselves, and your message is gonna save their life.
She shouldn't die. Well, he shouldn't die.
Yeah, they are not. They are not. Just the way God gave you the strength to overcome what you went through, God is also gonna give them the same. He's gonna use your message.
Of course, he will do it far more.
Yeah, and I want you to also know that you went through a phase of fame. You went through that phase, but God is not done. He has bigger and better things for you.
Amen.
What God has in store for you is bigger than what you've experienced.
Amen.
Your latter days are gonna be better than your former days.
Amen.
So don't give up. I know if you were to say everything that you've gone through, we're gonna be sitting here.
With other things, I don't want to go that side.
Yeah. If you're gonna say everything, we're probably gonna be sitting here till tomorrow.
We can't finish today.
But I want you to understand that God, you went through all of that, the boil, you being crippled, you trying to commit suicide.
Yeah.
The pain, all the shame, everything for a reason. I only know you through social media. we meet at events. We talk here and there, but I don't know you that well. But what I'm feeling in my spirit is God has something big for you.
Amen.
What He has is bigger than what you've gone through.
Amen.
So keep holding on, keep praying, keep pushing. It's not easy pursuing music here in America, especially if you're an African musician, especially if you are a Ghanaian musician. Bringing songs out, we don't get the support that we need. It takes a lot of money. You don't get sponsors. It's your own sweat.
Yeah.
But don't give up, because someone needs your voice, someone needs your songs.
Amen.
Keep recording, keep praying, keep pushing, keep sharing your story. And God will blow your mind.
Amen.
God will give you all your heart desire.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you too for having me here today. I'm sorry for making you cry, and I'm sorry for making all those that I want you to cry. But it was part of life. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being vulnerable. It's not easy to be vulnerable, to share your story, because we're in the day and age where people just take clips and then take it out of context.
Yeah.
But you were willing to share your story, and you've been vulnerable, and we really appreciate it. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Viewers, thank you so much for staying with us. I'm honestly lost for words. I was trying to hold my tears back. I can't imagine going through half of what I can't stand a quarter of what she went through. And if you are going through any pain, if you are going through any sorrow, if you are thinking of ending your life, I want you to know that God is not done with you. If He gave CEE the strength to overcome all that she overcame, God can help you overcome. So hold on, keep holding on. Don't let the problems ahead of you overcome you. God is stronger than any stumbling block ahead of you. God is stronger than any mountain ahead of you. And God is going to blow your mind. If God is able to open your eyes to see what He has ahead of you, you won't complain about all that you're going through. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time.